Hello?
Hello, my friend.
Hello. Hello.
I'm glad to see you.
I'm glad to
Thank
see
you
you too.
so much for this opportunity. This
Likewise.
interview is amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. Likewise.
And hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today, we have a very special guest, a rising talent in amateur boxing who has already made a strong name for himself across the United States. From local competition to the national stage, winning the blue and gold and 125 and the sapphire gloves at 132. These fighters is just getting started. Please welcome Keanu Albano. Keanu, it's great to have you here. Thank you and hello from Ukraine.
Hello, Ukraine.
Before we talk about your achievements, I want to go back to the very beginning of your journey.
Yeah.
Every fighter has a starting point that shaped everything. Let's start there. When did you first discover boxing?
Uh I'm Filipino, so it's one of those things that's always been in the household ever since I was little. I was watching Manny Pacquiao like at the barbecues or just like at family gatherings. It's always been around me. So uh like one of the at least like starting points of like me just having the idea of like wanting to box or just seeing boxing in like in a it just as a sport was just since very young. But yeah, I would say like one of the driving points is seeing like Manny Pacquiao fight all the time when I was a kid.
Oh, Manny Pacquiao is a Filipino professional boxer and former politician. Nicknamed Pac-Man, he is widely regarded as one of the greatest professional boxers of all time,
All time.
becoming
Yep.
the only A-division world champion in boxing history. This is crazy. He
Yeah.
also served as a senator of the Philippines from 2016 to 2022.
Hmm.
By the way, what do you think? Do you want to see a rematch Pacquiao versus Mayweather?
I would because I remember watching the first fight, but it's one of those things where I mean they're both around the same age, so it would be exciting in the sense where it just gives the fans what they want.
I also want to see a rematch Mayweather versus Pac-Man 2. There is always something or someone that inspires a fighter to step into the gym for the first time. That moment can change everything.
Hmm.
What inspired you to start boxing?
One of the main like inspirations for me to start boxing was my older brother. He's always been like a big support in like my journey as an amateur fighter, but likewise, he was going through the ropes of not necessarily an amateur boxer, but he was doing kickboxing and around boxing for a while as well. But yeah, one of the things he tells me all the time is that he's living his dreams through me. So it's one of those that like that's one of the like driving points of like why I was inspired to like at least follow through with it. And then as well, like one of my motivations is to at least make him and then the rest of my family proud with what I'm doing in boxing.
And the first training session is something every fighter remembers.
Yeah.
It's usually tough, uncomfortable, but also exciting. Do you remember your first training session?
Yeah, it's a funny one because I remember before boxing, I was really into soccer or football. So uh, I was like conditioned enough to like keep up, like not like gas out or anything, but coordination was so different. I remember one of the first bags I was on was a double end bag, and like I'd punch it, and it just like it'd come back and then I'd miss, and then I was just getting frustrated at that. But yeah, first session was for sure harder than uh like it was for sure the hardest one.
Do you like soccer?
Yeah, I do.
What is your favorite football team?
Uh I mean, growing up, I used to be a really big Barcelona fan just because my favorite player was Neymar. But at least like in La Liga, that's one of my favorite teams. But like Premier League, it would have to be like Arsenal. But my coach and my coach and her husband, he's from Manchester, so they're big City fans. So, like I don't really get into like football with them too much, just because there's a respect, just because they're both good teams. So I'm not gonna I don't choose to argue with people like about sports and stuff like that. But I mean, everyone has their own like favorite team, so I never like look down upon that.
I am also a Barcelona fan. Well, we will be friends.
For sure.
uh, by the way, my
Mhm.
favorite football player is Lionel Messi.
Messi.
Stepping into the ring for the first time is completely different feeling. It's
Mhm.
where everything becomes real. How did you feel before your first fight?
Well, my first fight was in 2022, so that was my first amateur fight. I was 17 at the time, 17, and it was a big difference just because like sparring wise, like you feel more comfortable in front of a smaller crowd, but it was a lot different just because like you could feel the pressure, and I ended up losing, but it was just like the feeling of like the pressure on you and then everyone watching, like it you can't get anything like similar to it. So you have to learn and cope with it eventually, which I ended up doing because I just keep on going and going and going. But I feel like there's nothing that can emulate a first fight feeling. Nerves just like the nerves are crazy.
Who supported you the most in your early days?
Like I said, my brother's always been a really big support in my career. At least him, and then my coach Elizabeth Parr. She's been one of the main people that have shaped me to the fighter I am today, and even the person I am today. I take a lot of lessons I've learned in boxing, and I use them in life. So it's one of those things where I couldn't be more grateful for the people I have around me.
Your brother is good.
Hmm.
Not everyone believes in you at the beginning.
Yeah.
Doubt is part of the journey. Did anyone doubt your boxing career at the beginning?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a child of I'm a child of seven, so uh, other than my brother, I lost my first two amateur fights, so it was a shaky start, and a lot of people were just like maybe it isn't for you, or like maybe you should just like stick to just working out, sparring, stuff like that. Maybe competing isn't for you, but uh, like I just kept pushing through it, and at least with the support of my teammates and my coach, and then even my older brother, Johnny, I just kept pushing through, and I think that's one of the best decisions I've ever made.
What was your first big win like?
So yeah, this my first big win was at the Blue and Gold tournament that ended up me winning it, but it was it felt surreal just because I've worked so hard from the first fight and the second fight, losing those two, and just being able to win a tournament in front of like all the people that were supporting me at the time and that are still supporting me. It just felt unreal, and one win just like I would say elevated me to want to just keep going and keep going because there's no better feeling than winning.
Losses are just as important as
Yeah.
wins. They teach lessons that victories cannot. How did you handle your first loss?
It was really hard on me, but at least I just took some time. I stayed in the gym. I think even after a loss, you shouldn't just shy away from the gym and like take a break because you're at least in amateur boxing. You want to be conditioned and in shape year round. So I just took it how it was. Try to learn off of it. Rewatched it, of course, because it was my first fight. So regardless, win or lose, it was a big accomplishment to me because that's what I was working towards. Just while boxing. So it was uh it was one of those things where I just had to sit down and just like recollect from what had happened and just move on from there. And even though I ended up losing my second fight, same thing. It was hard, but I just stayed in the gym and kept working, and then it paid off for my third fight.
Manny Pacquiao style is very cool. He pours a lot of blows. Pours, 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 pours. How would you describe your style when you started and your style now?
So I mean, I think one of the main things I've always been really like, at least one of my strong points is that I'm fast. So even in the beginning, it was just me throwing my hands just as fast as I can, and in the beginning I wasn't moving my feet as much, but the foundation was there where like I was still using my footwork to try to get in and out, and then use fast punches. But now I feel like I'm more of a calculated volume counter puncher, to where if they reach and make one, I'll return with four, or uh like they reach, I return with four, and then I move. So footwork is one of the big things that we teach at my gym, and it's one of the main things that all the fighters at the gym use. And other than that, yeah, the best way I would put my style is a volume counter puncher.
Oh, your footwork is amazing,
Thank
amazing
you.
footwork. Like our Ukrainian boxers, Usyk, Lomachenko, Soviet boxers, Dmitry Bivol. Your footwork is amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Belief is everything is in boxing. Belief. Without it, it's hard to move forward. Did you always believe you could go far in boxing?
I feel like that's one of the things that most fighters forget at certain points of their career. You take hard losses here and there. Some are harder than others, but it's always good to believe in yourself, no matter what stage you're on, no matter who you're fighting. You always got to be your number one fan. So if you don't believe in yourself, you can't get too far into the sport, because that like everyone says, it's just you and the other person. So uh, if you're not believing in yourself, you're gonna lose.
Boxing is not just a hobby. At some point, boxing becomes more than just a hobby. It becomes a serious path. When did you realize boxing could be your future?
Uh, like after my first five fights, I was like, let's get it. It was after that I took it a lot more serious. I saw that I can compete with these guys at least the top level in the state, and even once I went to nationals, I fought a an 11-time national champion for my first national fight. So I mean, I went back and forth with him. So uh, like just being able to like take it more serious after my first five just showed me how like far I can take it.
By the way, Barcelona wins Atletico 1-0.
Oh, they won
Yamal,
today.
Lamin Yamal scored a goal. This is the Champions League. Oh. Then, a great coach can completely change a fighter's career. Guidance is everything. Who has been your most important coach? Tell me please about your first coach and now.
I started the gym I'm at now isn't the gym I started at. I originally started at DG Boxing in Long Beach. But my first coach was his name was Sherman, and like he built a good foundation for me to later on continue. But I had to make the change because I felt like I learned all I could learn there, you know. And ever since then, I mean, I've been boxing for about 6 years now, give or take. And I've been with Coach Liz Elizabeth Parr since ever since then, and it's been history, you know. Uh, I couldn't be more thankful for a coach like her. She uh she just is good at what she does, you know. Her experience shows through her teaching. My coach was a four-time national champion. 4 years in a row she was on the USA boxing national team, and she uses just what she's experienced in ways to coach us through sparrings, fights, even just like bag work and stuff like that. With her, there's always something that you can work on. So I couldn't be more thankful for a coach like her.
Yes, your coach is very cool. Keep working with her.
Thank you.
Discipline is one of the key elements in boxing. Discipline and talent. Your daily routine says a lot about you. What does your daily training routine look like?
So usually I'm usually working out at least like 3 to 4 hours a day, and that's split up into different types of working out. So I have strength and conditioning in the morning, and then that's for usually an hour. And after that, more in the afternoon, I have my boxing workouts where I focus just only on boxing. That includes sparring, bag work, footwork drills, just blocking and parrying drills, things like that. And then usually I end my days off with just running. I feel like you you can't box if you don't run.
And boxing is not only physical, but also mental. Mental strength separates fighters. How do you stay mentally strong?
Yeah, I mean, boxing is one of those sports that can attack you mentally. After losses, even after wins, you can just go back and just think about it real hard. And the way I stay mentally strong is that I remind myself of the goal. You know what I mean? For me, the goal is to get ranked this year, and after that, I want to be able to fight on the USA national team. And I could like that. That's what keeps me mentally strong. Is I always remind myself that I have goals that aren't accomplished yet, and not only that keeps me mentally strong, but that keeps me going as well.
I agree with you. We don't play in boxing. We play in soccer, basketball, baseball, American football, tennis, but we don't play in boxing.
Hmm.
Injuries are part of the sport, unfortunately. They test your character. Have you ever had a serious injury?
Yeah. From my last fight, I ended up suffering from a minor concussion. So I've had to take the month off for sparring. I mean, I was still in the gym, strength and conditioning, running, but I haven't been sparring at least for the last month. And yeah, yesterday was one of the first days where I came back to sparring. But yeah, it's one of those things where you feel like you have the tools, but you can't use them. Like it's one of those. It's hard because you feel sharp and everything, but you can't test it.
You are good for overcoming such difficulties. Well done.
Thank you.
Every fighter has a breakthrough moment that change everything. What was your breakthrough moment?
Um, I had a fight. I had a fight in February, and it was in my hometown of Long Beach, and that one felt like no other fight. Maybe it was because I was in my hometown and we usually don't get to fight in my hometown, but the feeling of winning, at least there, was no other feeling, and it felt like I really broke through to a bigger audience, uh, not only like here in Long Beach, but in the surrounding cities as well, and even surrounding states. I felt like more eyes were on me after that. But yeah, I mean, a lot changed in that fight. I was able to stay composed, listen, and just put on a show. And that's one of the things I feel like people forget in amateur boxing. You're not only trying to, win, of course, but you want to also put on a show for those who are around watching.
Facing tough opponents is where real growth happens. How do you prepare for tough opponents?
It's in amateur boxing is hard because sometimes you don't know who you're fighting. So you just try to get sparring as much as you can and sparring with styles that are different. You can't spar the same guy and expect you can't spar a counter puncher and then expect to fight the same way with a someone who's coming forward and who's a volume puncher. So it's honestly opening yourself to sparring with different styles, and that's one of the things that keeps you ready for anybody.
Preparation is not just physical, it's also strategic. Do you study your opponents before fights? Do you watch videos of their fights?
Well, on tournaments, yeah. Like I'm sure I'm speaking for a lot of other amateur boxers. If you see who's in your bracket, you're probably gonna know them, and especially once you become open, everyone's fighting the same people over and over again. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you see them shadow box. Like if you've never heard of them, and then you see them shadow box in the corner, you're like, oh, that's who I'm fighting. All right, we'll build a strategy right there. But yeah, I mean, when we're able to get the chance to see someone like their old sparring or their old matches, we'll just take a look and see what we can capitalize on. But usually, yeah, you just have to use that first round to adapt to what they're giving you.
And success always comes with sacrifices. What sacrifices did you have to make?
I feel like there's a lot of sacrifices that you have to make if you want to at least make it far in the sport. Like there's no partying, there's no like just you can't. It's not necessarily that you can't have fun because of course is it's a job in a way, but also like you got to love your job. So I mean, other than like having fun in my young age, like I'm never really been into stuff like that where it's like people like at least in California they like drinking, they like smoking weeds, stuff like that. But at least with me, like I've never really been like too into that. So I just do my own thing. I have fun with my teammates, and that's in the gym. So I feel like there's not too much sacrifice put in place because I've never really been into stuff like that.
Motivation is what keeps you going every single day. What keeps you motivated every day?
Like I said, I have goals, and I feel like those goals keep me motivated to keep going, even when I'm tired or when I'm not feeling it that day. Even if it's a bad sparring session or it's just one of those fights where I wasn't me or I wasn't the victor that day. Uh, I have goals, and I feel like until I reach those goals, I still have work to do.
Now, I want to focus on your achievements because they really stand out. Winning major tournaments is never easy, especially at a high level. Let's start with one of your biggest wins. What did winning the blue and gold at 125 mean to you personally?
Personally, it was honestly what kept me going because after my first two fights, losing those first two fights really did like take a toll on me, and I just had to get back in there and just change it up, find what I need to work on and find what I need to add to my style. But it was also one of those ones where I fought in the SoCal State tournament at 119, and then I also fought just a local fight at 119. So it was also a move up in weight. So it meant a lot to me in the sense where I know I can move up and compete with guys bigger than me at the time. Where now I'm at 132, so now I'm bigger than that. But yeah, so it meant a lot just because it gave me confidence, and it showed me that all my hard work is going into something bigger than what I thought it was.
I like your story. You tell a very interesting story. That tournament is known for strong competition and talented fighters. Strong competition. You had to go through real challenges. How tough was the competition at Blue and Gold?
I don't want to be that guy, but I felt like I did so much work to where it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. And every person's a hard fight, So I'm not gonna say I won't ever take the credit away from any of my opponents because they've always put on a show as well. But I felt like I worked so hard that fighting was the easy part, and the lead up to it was the hard part. So uh, that fight was back and forth, but I was able to show my skills in the ring and show my show my strategy and my ring generalship as a counter puncher as well. And it was one of the ones where I was able to land a bunch of shots and not get hit.
You real fighter. Every every tournament has one fight that stands out more than the others. One moment that really tests you. Which fight at Blue and Gold was the hardest for you? The hardest.
So it would have to be the finals fight, just because their gym is known for coming forward. So it really tested my gas. But other than that, it was a fun fight nonetheless. So yeah, I mean all those guys from I think it was East LA, because uh there's a lot of gyms in LA. But yeah, all those guys come forward and they put it on you. So you have to do what you can to keep them off of you, or just come back with the same energy.
Winning a title is not just physical, it's emotional too. I love boxing for emotions. It's the result of hard work and sacrifice. What emotions did you feel right after winning that title?
Just a lot of happiness, just because I was able to showcase my skills in a big crowd as well, just because since that is one of the bigger tournaments in Southern California, there is always a lot of people there. But yeah, like it just reminded me of my first two fights where I just didn't get the decision, and uh, it was I was just flustered with happiness. That's the best way to put it.
Moving up in weight is always a big step for any fighter. It brings new challenges and new opponents. How did moving from 125 to 132 change your boxing?
I'm So we've been doing the move up from 125 to 132. I feel like in the right way, where we've put muscle on me to where I can stand there and and be able to go back and forth with those guys. But at least for me, you don't want to do that. You don't need to take unnecessary damage. So uh my style has always been move my feet, land punches, and make sure they don't land punches. So at least from moving up from 125 to 132, it's been more set up traps, and once they fall into it, uh land and then move out.
Pacquiao was equal to the weight categories and become better and better, better and better. Each tournament has its own atmosphere and level of pressure. Some feel completely different. How was Safi gloves different from blue and gold?
Uh,
Sapphire.
I feel like it was easier in the sense where it was later on in my like amateur career. So I only had 3 fights going into the blue and gold. But with the sapphire gloves, it was I had 12. So at least going into that one, I was more composed and calm. But I just came back from a fight from Vegas the week before, sapphire gloves, and it was a decision that we didn't agree with, but it happens in boxing. And I just took from what I had in that fight and I just brought it to the next fight. And the things that I needed to improve on were to just punch more, and if I have them hurt, just uh stay on them for a little bit longer than usual. But yeah, the atmosphere there was cool just because a lot of people didn't. I mean, I usually have the same amount of people coming to my fights every fight, and the guy that I fought in the finals for Sapphire Gloves, he had a lot of people in his corner. So the Sapphire was, I mean, the Sapphire tournament's atmosphere was fun just because I could feel the tension.
Did you like this tournament, Sapphire gloves?
Yeah, it was fun. It was. I'm not sure uh if it was the first time they held it, but it was my first time fighting in that tournament because, like other tournaments, I fought in the blue and gold once. I fought in the SoCal State tournament twice. I fought in the Southern California Golden Gloves 3 times. So it was a change of location as well. I've never fought in Hesperia, and it was just a fun tournament. Just because there was a lot of room as well, so we are able to warm up where we could, and yeah, it was different for sure. Just because I think it was a new tournament.
Winning multiple titles builds confidence but also brings expectations. People start watching you more closely. Did you feel more pressure after becoming a tournament champion?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even then, the boxing scene in Southern California is really competitive. So if you start to see someone like win bigger tournaments, or even just like local district tournaments, state tournaments, you'll keep your eye on them. And yeah, I mean, just getting more fights, getting more experience, you're gonna have that pressure of people watching you. And especially after my fight in the USA Boxing Nationals, I felt like there was more eyes on me.
At higher level, every opponent is dangerous. There is no easy fight anymore. I repeat again, we don't play boxing. This is dangerous sport. What was the biggest challenge you faced at the national level?
So I would say the height difference. The guy I fought in the Nationals, Isaiah Darden, he's I think like 6'1", and I'm 5'8". So the challenge was to having to change my style on the go. So I couldn't just sit there and counter punch with a guy like that because he'll love that. He has a long jab. He can just stay back and just use his long punches. But yeah, it was probably having to switch from being more of a like stay back counter puncher and move my feet to pressuring him more to make him feel more uncomfortable because he has more experience than me, and he is at the top as well. So it's one of those things where you have if you have to make that change and adapt to how you're fighting or who you're fighting, you're gonna have to make it.
Competing nationally is a different experience compared to local fights. The levels is much higher. How did competing at the national level change your mindset?
I felt like it elevated my confidence just because I was able to compete with the top guys in the nation, and yeah, I feel like it's just it's something where you just want to get back to it. Like fighting in the nationals, there's no other feeling like it. So just being able to fight there gave me the need for that feeling again, and I want to compete again in the nationals soon. There's a couple more this year, so well you'll see me there.
Titles are milestones, but they also represent growth. Each one tells a story. Which title means the most to you so far?
I would have to say my first one, the blue and gold, just because it was just after a hard time where uh I ended up losing my father the first year of me boxing, at least for the first year of me competing. So just being able to work through that and my first two fights, it meant a lot to me. And it just showed me that like I can keep going with it. And uh yeah, it was just one of those ones that I always hold very like dear to me.
Winning is important, but the journey behind it matters even more. Fans don't always see that. What did you learn from your title winning experience?
That you have to keep the same pacing. At least like training wise, you can't take your foot off the gas, and you always gotta just stay in shape and be ready for anything. You never know who you'll fight or when you'll fight, so it's just one of those things where you need to always stay ready.
Yes, you did a great job. After big wins, expectation from others grow. People expect you to keep winning. Do you feel like people expect more from you now?
Of course, I feel like that's just something that comes with the sport, but it's almost one of those things where I expect more from myself as well. I feel like my biggest critic is myself, and I don't feel a lot of pressure from people, but I feel pressure from myself just because I see other guys that are doing well in my weight class, or even other guys that are doing well in other weight classes, and I put the pressure on myself to rise to their level or even rise to the occasion. So it's one of those things where uh, I'm always gonna be my hardest critic, and like I'm always gonna expect more from me, even after a win. I could do something better. So it's something like that.
Staying consistent after success is one of the hardest things in sports. It requires discipline. How do you stay focused after achieving major wins?
Like I said, there's always a bigger goal to a smaller one. So even after a win, always keep that in mind that I'm not where I want to be yet. So I still gotta not take my foot off the gas and just shoot for it and keep going. Because if you get complacent, that's when stuff starts falling down on you.
Your journey is still going, and there is more to come. These titles are just the beginning. What title or achievement are you chasing next?
So we have a few tournaments coming up. So I want to be able to fight in the pals again and win that, and that's an international title. So it's an invitational from USA Boxing, and usually people from England, I think Ireland, Mexico usually come through. Not only that though, I want to fight in the SoCal this year because I fought in it twice and I've always gotten second place. So it's one of those ones where it's a bad taste in my mouth, and I want to be able to become SoCal state champion. And yeah, I mean, there's of course it's the nationals as well. There's no other feeling than becoming a national champion, and I'm for sure working towards that this year and becoming ranked in the top 10 in the nation. So those are the achievements that I have set on this year as an amateur boxer.
Now, I want to talk more about you as a person, not just a fighter, because what happens outside the ring is just as important. Let's dive into that side of your life. How would you describe yourself outside the ring?
I mean, I don't have too many friends, but I feel like I'm an approachable person. So yeah, I would say that like I'm very talkative. I can talk about anything, you know. You just give me a topic and I'll speak to you about it. But other than that, yeah, I'm very friendly. I I wouldn't I wouldn't say I'm intimidating or anything. I don't fit the boxer description, but that's what it is, you know. So many different people come into boxing, but yeah, other than that, yeah, I would say friendly.
People often see fighters as tough and aggressive, but there is always another side to them. Are you a different person inside and outside the ring?
Yeah, you have to have that switch. I feel like if you don't, you'll get taken advantage of. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely something where you have to learn to switch it off and on. Like, you can be a nice person outside the ring. You can do all these things outside the ring, but once you're in there, you have to fight them like you hate them. But even though at the end of the day, we're all trying to achieve the same things, but yeah, we'll be friends after.
Discipline shapes champions. It's not something you turn on and off. What does discipline mean to you?
I feel like discipline is the most important thing in boxing because motivation will take you so far, and discipline is going to keep you going. So uh, I stay disciplined in the sense where like boxing is all around me. My job is boxing, so like other than competing, I'm around it as a trainer in my gym. I'm making sure I eat right daily, and even if it's like I'm out with my friends, we try to choose the most like nutritious meal or healthy thing to get. But yeah, you have to stay disciplined because motivation takes you so far, but discipline takes you all the way.
Every athlete has moments of doubt. It's part of the journey. Do you ever doubt yourself before fights? Tell me about your doubt.
I would say no, just because uh only moments of doubts were my first two, and after I got over that hurdle, I felt like I can do anything I put my mind to. So doubt came early, but after I eased up, had more fights, I always believe in myself. I feel like that's one of the most important things.
I know boxers who were afraid of losing. Fear is something every fighter feels. The difference is how you deal with it.
Hmm.
How do you deal with fear in boxing?
That's a hard one, just because I feel like it just goes away. So I feel like dealing with it is having to experience just you getting in there. Uh, I would it would be me lying to say sometimes I don't like fear getting into the ring, but it goes away. You know what I mean? Like you get comfortable eventually, like after your first couple of fights, and it just gets easier to deal with. And I wouldn't say that you feel fear, but it's more anxiety, just because you're fighting in front of hundreds of people, and sometimes it's broadcasted, so you're fighting even in more in front of more people. So it's it's more anxiety than fear.
You are right on 100%. Boxing teaches life lessons beyond the ring. It changes your mindset. What has boxing uh, taught you about life?
I feel like boxing has taught me patience. You gotta believe in like it's gonna happen. So no matter how long it'll take, as long as you're as long as you're patient, it's gonna work out. And yeah, you just gotta stay there and do what you have to do to get to where you want to be.
I Respect you. You did a hard work. Sometimes the hardest battles are mental, not physical. What is the hardest part of being a boxer?
Like I said, I feel like the easiest part is fighting because you just get in there and do what you have to do. But yeah, I feel like the hardest part is I feel like, at least for me, since I put so much pressure on myself, just like criticizing myself is the hardest part. Like even after winning, I have something to work on. So I just never give myself a break in a way. I feel like that's one of the hardest parts, and that's like the whole thing with mental, where it's like you, even after you win, you still think about it, and you're just like, man, I could have done better, or you're always gonna beat yourself. That, or at least me, I'm always gonna beat myself up about something.
We all ask questions. Well, why so? Every fighter has motivation behind their journey, something deeper than just winning. What is your biggest why in boxing? What questions about boxing do you want to discover?
At least my biggest why is my father. Like I said, I lost him very early on in my amateur career, just my first year, and he told me like, whatever you want to do, just do it and do it to the fullest extent. So that's my why. And questions I want to just find out is um there's not a lot of questions, but uh like, who is Keanu? You know, who is Keanu Albano? And I mean, that's the only thing that I want to have boxing answer. So I mean, of course that'll be answered as I fight more, compete more, win more. And yeah, that's the only question, is who is Keanu Albano?
Uh, I know who is Keanu Albano. Keanu Albano is the future of boxing.
Thank you.
Support from fans can be powerful. It pushes fighters forward. What does your support system mean to you now?
I feel like it's everything. Just because I have more people supporting me than I had before, and even that's just from like people in the gym, my coaches, my girlfriend, my friends, my family. It's just I feel like if you have people behind you that believe in you, it helps you believe more into yourself as well.
Being in the spotlight change things. People start watching you more. How do you handle attention and expectations?
Like I said, I don't really pay attention to it too much, just because I set my own expectations. So people can have their own expectations for me, but until I reach to what I want for myself, it doesn't really matter to me to what other people think or expect of me. But yeah, I mean, I handle pressure pretty well. I mean, I fought in multiple different tournaments and in front of different crowds in different cities, in different states, you know? So I feel like it's really just me and the other person in the ring, and the only people I can hear is my coach.
Let's talk about your future now, because your journey is just getting started. What are your short term goals in boxing?
So my short term goals for this year is just compete as much as possible. I just want to rack up fights before just my decision of whether I want to continue as an amateur boxer or eventually go into the pros. But yeah, short term goals is just compete as much as possible, and win as much tournaments as I can this year.
Every fighter's dreams big. That's what drives greatness. What is your ultimate dream in boxing?
Uh, I feel like you can't. you can't take an Olympic gold medal away from anybody. So I would want to be able to fight in the Olympics and work my way towards that. And that's one of my major goals. And of course, every boxer has the dream of becoming a world champion. So if you can put your mind to it, you can achieve it.
You answered my next questions. Do you see yourself competing in the Olympics?
Yeah, I can see myself just because I've put it out in the universe, and that's been one of my goals ever since I've became an amateur boxer. And uh I'm like just I manifest it, like I buy like stuff that involves the Olympics, where it's like old novelty like gifts that came from certain Olympics, or even just like plush animals from like the 2008 Olympics. I try to manifest it as much as possible, because if you put it out there, it'll happen.
Are you planning to turn professional in the future? Maybe next year?
I always gave myself until 2028, so that's when the next Olympics is. So we'll decide by then. But yeah, that's in what 2 3 years. So I see myself turning professional in the next couple of years for sure,
2 3 years to wait.
for sure.
Yeah. And legacy is something every fighter eventually thinks about. What kind of legacy do you want to leave in boxing? Tell me please about your legacy.
I feel like I've always been a legacy over royalties type of person. So I'd much rather have the name than have the money. But yeah, I would want to be able to impact people with at least like how I box and how I fight, and like whether it's that people become my fans or people don't. I just want to be able to help people uh just love boxing the way I love it.
You did a great job, and your advice, I want uh, want to think about your advice. What advice would you give to boys and girls who are starting?
Don't stop. Even if you have those doubts early on, just don't stop, just because you never know what's next for you. And there's this thing that I saw, and it was like it's only one big win that'll overcome many losses, and you never know what's the next big win. So just like for those that are barely starting, or even just starting in amateur boxing, uh, just keep going, and it'll take you a long way.
Mistakes are part of growth. Everyone makes them. What mistakes helped you grow the most?
I feel like mistakes are made in every aspect of every sport. So I feel like some mistakes were just uh, not utilizing certain things in certain fights, or even just sparring. Like sometimes you need more sparring before a fight to help you prepare. But other than that, yeah, I mean, you're gonna have mistakes that come along the way, and it just happens.
Sacrifice comes with success. Was it all worth it so far?
Um, Not really. I don't know. There's a lot of sacrifice that goes into it, but the only sacrifice that you could really make is time. You sacrifice your time in boxing, so it's just like if you're willing to sacrifice that, then it'll take you a long way.
And every fighter has unfinished business. Is there a fight you want to have again? Maybe you want rematch?
Yeah, there's a few guys. There's always guys that have the win over me that I want to get that win back, and then I've always been one of those guys that if I beat you, we can do it again and again. and it's something very local. So we're all in the state of California. So yeah, there's a few guys that I want to fight again, but of course I'm not gonna put their names out there. You know.
Confidence is key in boxing. Do you believe you can become one of the best?
Yeah, of course. I feel like I can compete against the best, and uh, I feel like I can beat the best. So yeah, it's just one of those things where, like, if you don't have self belief, you won't be able to accomplish a lot of the things that you have set for yourself.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
Fans love to hear honest answers. What is something people don't know about you?
I mean, I feel like I'm a really big nerd. I like like comic books, video games, anime, stuff like that, and it's just one of those things where I mean, I'm not sure if you can see it, just the way I present myself, but yeah, I mean, I'm really big into those things other than boxing, and I fish a lot.
Your journey inspires others. What message do you want to send to your supporters?
uh, at least for my supporters, thank you for supporting me, and never stop doing what you love. And there's gonna be times where life beats you down, and it's gonna be hard to continue, but just keep striving for it, and it's gonna be all worth it in the end.
Before we finish, I want to ask you something personal and honest. What keeps you going when things get really hard?
I just feel like I just can't stop. I feel like I put so much into boxing where I have to give back to it, and it. I feel like that's what keeps me going is my love for boxing, and just those who support me. And I feel like if I wouldn't continue, I'd leave so much untouched.
One message that defines you as a fighter. How do you want people to remember Keanu Albano?
I want people to remember me as someone who's kind in a way. So not in the ring, but outside the ring. But other than that, I just want people to remember me as someone who left it all out there, and someone that rose to the occasion, and someone that just uh, went for greatness in a way. Just because I know that it'll come eventually, but sometimes you just have to just wait and trust in the process. So I hope people can remember me as someone who went for it, someone who just was able to just keep going and keep going.
Who do you want to challenge to fight? Who do you want to go into the ring against right now?
uh, the only person that I want to fight right now is myself. I was kidding, but yeah, someone that I would love to fight. Uh, there's guys at the top. So at least nationally, all the guys that are ranked from like 1 to 10. So those are the guys that I would want to compete against. And ranked number one right now is Salim Bey. And of course, it'd be a honor to be able to compete against the number one, but it'd be just one of those things where it's a job. So you just have to leave it all out there.
It will be good fights.
Thank you.
And last question. In your opinion, who is the best boxer of all time?
that one's hard to say just because I have bias. But yeah, I mean, I would say Manny Pacquiao. But even though like there is things that go with it as well, I just feel like no one will be able to, and no one is able to just go across 8 different weight classes and be at the top for so long as well. And he's still trying to strive for greatness, and it's just one of those things where I feel like that's what makes him the greatest. And yeah, that's my answer. Manny Pacquiao.
Yes, Manny Pacquiao is one of the greatest boxers of all time. But in my opinion, this is Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people believe that. Even Manny Pacquiao said that his greatest is Muhammad Ali.
Yes. Keanu, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate your sharing your journey, your experience, and the story behind your success. It
Thank you.
was truly inspiring to hear how you went from the early days all the way to winning major tournaments like blue and gold and sapphire gloves. Your mindset, your discipline, and dedication are something a lot of people can learn from. I wish you nothing but success in your future, bigger fights, bigger wins, and reaching all your goals. It was a honor to have you here. Thank you again, and I wish you to become gold medalist and undisputed champions in pro.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being on uh, just your interview as well, and I couldn't be more thankful. And you're doing a great thing for fighters that are starting off uh, early in their amateur career, and even fighters in the pros. So, uh, thank you so much.
Goodbye, my friend, and good luck.
Thank you. Goodbye.